Hi. So today I went to Target and I got this sunflower grow kit, and I am really trying to get gardening to be a hobby of mine. So I am going to be persistent. I'm going to try to grow these sunflowers. Hopefully they do well. The sunflower grow kit has everything that you need to get started. It's in its egg carton. It'll start to grow out of this, and then eventually I'll have to transplant it into a larger container. And it has all the instructions inside and some cute little markers that I get to color and decorate to show that these are sunflower seeds. So I'm going to try to plant some of these today, and hopefully they will survive. The growing instructions say, in a separate bowl, dissolve growing medium pellet in 5 tablespoons of water and fluff with fork. Okay, next the instructions say to divide growing medium evenly among the 6 cups. The next step is to sow sunflower seeds 1/4 of an inch deep and lightly cover with growing media. This last step is to cover the seeds with the remaining growing medium and keep these moist. They will germinate in 7 to 14 days.
After a few days, the seeds started to sprout. I watered them every day and watched as they got bigger and grew their first set of leaves. After growing their second set of leaves, this is a good indicator that it's time to transplant them to move them to a bigger container so that the roots will have more room to grow. I knew that my plants were getting too big for their original container, and I was anxious to move them into a bigger pot. As a temporary solution, I decided to put a few plants together into a smallish pot, and to make it easier to transport, I put some rocks at the bottom before I put the soil in so that I wasn't going to lose a bunch of soil moving this plant. And I knew that eventually I would have to transplant them again into an even bigger pot, but at this time I wasn't quite sure just how big my sunflowers were going to get.
So I've been growing my sunflowers for a little while now, but this pot is getting a little too small. So I bought these bigger pots, and I'm going to transplant these sunflowers into a new home. Alright, so I have some potting soil, and I'm going to put some in this pot. And now it's time to transplant this last one. Hopefully these two will like their newer, bigger pots.
Not long afterwards, they began to thrive. Three months later, my sunflowers began to bloom. Overall, this has been a very rewarding experience. I started out just seeing if I could get the seeds to sprout and ended up with these beautiful blooms. If you've been thinking about picking up gardening as a hobby, take this as your sign to start today. You never know what could happen.